I notice a theme when I produce my vlogs in Thailand, and in particular when it comes to Pattaya and the kind of comments I get. The negative comments on the region always seem to be from those that have never been here before. And I believe, you know, some of the negative press reports that might be out there, which in the modern era, if you believe anything you see on most of these national press, then more for you anyway. Or they've just got a serious chip on their shoulder. You know, I get these images of guys sitting suffering from delusions of grandeur, either bitter or just misguided in their studio flat, looking out into the rain somewhere grim in the middle of England. Okay, I'm being deliberately contentious here, but it did, however, make me think. Who will really have the last laugh? The expat of Thailand, you know, places like this, or the stay-at-home Westerner? It would be easy for me as a one-sided expat to be very biased here, but that serves no purpose. So I'll try and be as rounded as I can in my opinion. But it's difficult, you see, especially when you've been enlightened to a world away from your domestic one. When I first come to Pattaya some 11 or so years ago and told my work colleagues in London, the guys would smirk. Well, some of them would, and the women would look at me in shock. But then I cared about what they felt, and I felt a little deviant knowing of the type of lads' holiday I embarked on. Maybe they had a point. One should not go with prostitutes and get involved in such debauchery. It's just not the done thing. And then I came and lived in Thailand. I shudder to think what they thought. It's quite easy to get on the defensive when others criticise something that you're doing, your way of life. My friends and family probably thought I was just putting two fingers up to the UK and doing what I wanted. And you know what? They were right. But I couldn't tell them, or couldn't quite pinpoint back then just why I needed to move on from my life in the UK. I stood one morning on the crowded train at about 6:30 AM. I took the usual commute to my office. You know, I like my job a lot, but that's not the point here. It'd been raining and my suit was a little wet, didn't feel too good. I stood with my colleagues and asked them if our life was already mapped out and that was it as far as life was concerned. Okay, I'm stripping things to the basic here, but fundamentally I knew where my life was going. Nice house, family, few more promotions at work, and before you knew it, retirement. Another catalyst which made the move abroad easier was my parents both died. You know, I was very young then. I had no reason now to stick around, and the world was out there to grab, and so I did. I was 32 years old, earning all in all with bonus and car allowances around £80,000 a year. We're going back 11 years, and I threw it all away for the greater good of my life. It was ballsy, and with that came true feeling of empowerment like I've not felt before. Nothing was going to hold me back. I was resenting the predictability of life that these very same stay-at-home Westerners who trash talk those who move away to Thailand have to live in each day themselves. It beggars belief. Each to their own, but it's just crazy when you consider their very own lives and the humdrum that comes with that. Look, I know I'm making lots of generalised assumptions here, but I'm only attacking those that troll those that have chosen Thailand to be an expat. I'm not even going to say it's jealousy, it's just plain stupidity. I live like royalty when compared to my peers back in the UK. I travel every month, in the country, out the country, eat out most nights. I enjoy almost year-round sunshine. It's about 6 o'clock here in the evening, and I don't have to do a 6 AM commute in the rain into London anymore. And what's more, down to hard work, not at the expense of what I earn each month either. I'm financially better off living in Thailand. And regardless, if a guy wants to sit in a bar and drink a beer and maybe hit a go-go bar afterwards, then let him be. It's not what I want to do, but to others it's what they choose to do. The guy may very well be widowed, divorced, and the alternative option of living in the UK with higher living costs just are not viable anymore to him. Regardless, full stop, he doesn't need to defend himself to others. Yet seemingly he has to when it comes to the world of the modern trolling on social networks. Living abroad has taught me to be more tolerant and compassionate towards others, regardless of cultures or nationality. I can also see more clearly how all countries use propaganda over their people. You know, this is from America, UK, Thailand, etc. I also see how my life abroad versus what it would no doubt be like if I stayed in the UK. My friends back home, no disrespect, are quite content with their annual 2 holidays, nice car, the odd weekend break, you know, payoff versus that grind of the rat race every other day between that holiday period. I work just as hard as they did in London, but it feels just different here. It's interesting how an expat in Thailand has to take periodical abuse from minority outsiders who don't know any better. But I think to myself, it should quite easily be the other way round. But it's not, as we expats here, we don't feel the need to. We just get on with our lives and we enjoy it. Life is short, and the older you get, the greater the realisation of how precious time is. For me, the tragedy of life is for those that don't do enough with the limited time they have. Is life really so bad that it's best spent trolling others and their life choices on social networks? I'll leave you with this. As Buddha says himself, if you loved yourself, you could not hurt no other. And this to me probably sums up the problem with these people. Life surely is about being happy and content, and it need be no more than that. So that stay-at-home Westerner or the expat of Thailand, who really will have the last laugh?